Good evening, everybody, and after a incredible, fantastic day, I can give some feedback. I had the pleasure and privilege of being at the AfriForum Theatre in Pretoria this morning, speaking on behalf of Dear South Africa about the proposed amendments to the Firearms Control Act and the very broad effort against those amendments to fight them in totality and to have them scrapped as a whole, as well as to then follow that up with a push for some real solutions, amongst which would be license the person, register the firearm. And it was great to be alongside speakers like Tsepe from Girls on Fire, Paul Oxley, Gun Owners SA, Ian Cameron from Safe Citizen and Firearms.co.za, Jacques Broodryk, Kali Kriel, Manus Kamfer from AfriForum were great, Dr. Pieter Groenewald of the Freedom from Plus, Andrew Whitfield coming in from the Democratic Alliance, via a pre-record video, and just having a great number of supporters in the audience. Chaza, Stephen Palos being there doing some great insets as well. Overall, I feel that this is a wonderful effort in the correct direction to properly fight with a plan, with conviction, with meaning, with direction for firearm rights, so we can combat these ridiculous proposed amendments that are entirely unworkable and completely and utterly insane and unjustifiable and a whole one of other descriptive terms. The one thing, though, that did catch me a little bit off guard is describing what the legislation means, and a journalist asked me a very good question. She said, okay, but why is the government doing this? And my answer essentially came down to it's a central government that is losing legitimacy in the eyes of its voters, is losing legitimacy in the eyes of its of the citizenry of this country, and it is making desperate authoritarian moves, and it is paranoid. It's absolutely paranoid of an armed population. And I spoke to my good friend Tembo Kubeka about this in between getting to the airport and getting on the aeroplane and flying back down to Cape Town. And we had a very instructive discussion, which essentially concluded that this government isn't afraid, of white boys like me with guns. They are afraid, they're absolutely terrified of the fact that a great many black people of this surge of lawful, trained, proficient black gun ownership that is becoming the trend amongst the black civilian population of South Africa, to all those who can afford it, and even those who can't afford it, making plans to afford it. This means that for 27 years of broken promises, 27 years of cavalier treatment of voters and their needs, 27 years of criminal failure, the ANC is terrified of its own supposed so-called voting base, holding it accountable and being legally armed in order to do so. And that struck me as the source and the origins of the paranoia. You're welcome to disagree with me. I mean, please, in fact, comment on it if you think I'm being wrong. But it is a well-known and well-established fact by now that the fastest growing demographic of law-abiding, lawful firearm owners are young black professionals buying guns for self-defense. This government isn't afraid. They can talk about far-right, right-wing plots until the cows come home, but that isn't what this is about. It's about typical communist paranoia of political power grows out of the barrel of the gun. That was Mao that said that. And of course, the second part of what he said was that the party must control the guns. And if the party doesn't control the guns, the party can be held accountable by the people it screws over. Stay in the fight. If you haven't yet, link to the Dear South Africa public participation is down below. Heading strong for 90,000 submissions. And we're going to keep pushing through this. We want to push straight through 100 per aspera ad astra, through adversity to the stars. Let's push this thing through the stars. Let's push it to the moon. Elon Musk and Dogecoin isn't the only thing that's going to the moon. Let's get this process going to the moon. Thank you for all of you who have already contributed. Thank you for all of those who are sharing this with your friends, family, neighbors, colleagues, peers, associates, and your associations. Thank you. Let's get on this bus. Let's drive it. See you on the other side. We'll keep you updated.